Assalamu alaikum everyone, this is Stani here for the Stani Army Watchalong for day 3 of the first test, New Zealand versus Pakistan. Today we have Imyazga,
Assalamu alaikum.
Umar. Hello Umar, Assalamu alaikum Umar. We can't hear you. I think you need to go and take Habib's headphones again. We'll move on to Dr. Akbar.
Hello, assalamu alaikum everyone.
Nav.
Reading cricket at Romford College, London.
And we have a special guest today making his debut today, Carl.
Assalamu alaikum.
I thought it was bloody Yusuf.
Salam. Well, if it was Mohammad Yusuf, yeah, he still won't be getting into the ICC Test Team of the Decade.
No.
Okay.
In the end, any survey, any quiz, anything like that, is going to be won by Indians. Like corruption. Oh yeah. You know, Pakistanis are corrupt. Well, if you pay them so little, it's inevitable they're going to do that. Give them $1 million and they won't be corrupt. But going back to Junaid Khan.
Get away with it.
Junaid Khan's played 22 Test matches.
Yeah.
76 one-day internationals. He's only ever played 77 first-class games in his career.
Right.
I'm just saying that, you know, if you go by how many Test matches.
No. I guess my point was that I don't think Ahmed's got a massive case to say that he's been overbowled or overplayed, or that the pressure on him has been greater than the pressure on any other Pakistan player in the past 10, 15, 20 years.
I think there was
End of the day, though, Ahmed walked out himself though in Test cricket. So why? There's not even a debate in Test cricket, right? That Ahmed should be there.
I think there was a workload issue with him. If Mickey Arthur had still been there, he wouldn't have retired.
Yeah, but if Mickey Arthur was still there, we'd still be losing Test matches series to Sri Lanka and New Zealand in the Emirates. So, you know, playing one spinner. And I love Mickey Arthur, by the way. I really like Mickey Arthur, but I'm just saying he wasn't beyond questioning or beyond reproach.
No one's beyond reproach, but we've gone from, you know, not being very good to being all right, to not being very. I think people have this inflated opinion that we're due success, where success, you know, some of our parts doesn't reach a total kind of thing. You know what I mean? There's too much expectation, too much changing of team. You know, I have not understood why Surprise was sacked. I've never understood why Azhar was made captain and what Azhar did to be sacked. I don't think he was given a fair enough. You know, he wasn't inspirational. He wasn't a great captain, but there wasn't enough for you to sack him.
This is just like deja vu from yesterday's show.
We shouldn't have even got it in the first place.
Mickey Arthur's after.
We will end up like 90.
Guys, we've got 3 runs so far.
I know. We're still discussing our man Mickey.
Yeah, we're discussing.
You know what I mean?
We will end up at a stage in about 96, 97, 98, where the whole team would have had a chance of captaining. Everyone had captained the team at some stage.
MashaAllah, I want my turn as well. I've got big fans.
Go on. What do we think? Quick one before we go any further. What will the lunchtime score be?
96 for 1.
Well, Abbas is going to back 2 hours.
Yeah, quality. I mean, he just faced his first ball. Play a miss.
I'm going to say 96 for 3. Sorry.
100 for 2. Abbas to get a quick 550 and then see you later. So the Brazier said that Yunus on interview before play says he tries to keep things simple and not give batsmen too much info at one point, as all the experience and knowledge he gained came over time. So that must mean that he's giving them snippets of the novel that he's been writing.
These are Pakistani players. You tell them one thing at a time.
Plus, I mean, like, you know, once they're at this, there's something about coaching which I can't come around to. Once they're at this level, when they're playing international cricket, how much can you coach them? I mean, if they need major work on them, yeah, then they shouldn't be anywhere near the, you know, international side. So it's just basic tweaks and building their confidence more than anything else.
Tweaks, working on things, pointing out things, because a lot of it's memory muscle. You do the same thing again and again and again with reflex, don't you? Driving a car, you don't actually think about it anymore, do you? But when you start thinking about it, you realise it becomes more complicated, doesn't it? Try that tomorrow.
Walaikum salam to Habib. You need to give the headphones back to your brother. And yeah, you saw I got interrupted, but don't worry, I'm back in control now. I have got one bit of a problem though. My little mascot, Hulk, Yusuf got hold of him today. I don't know where he's lost him, so unfortunately we avoid that with the powers of little baby Hulk.
Oh no.
I know.
Well, we're doomed then, aren't we, really, let's be honest.
Nah, come on, man. We've got Fawad Alam, a triple century.
So what's the game plan today then? Just forget about the score, just bat 90 overs and see where you are at the end of the day, essentially. If we're still batting at the end of the day, we're not out of the game.
Yes, but I think for us, we can't go in a shell. We're not the sort of team that could be 60 for just hoping that we're going to be 60 for 1 at the end of the first session, because with that we're probably going to be like 70 for 5.
That's the score up. About 90 overs.
So
we'll probably be following on.
Be sensible, but be aggressive.
Well, if they need any tips, they've just been standing out for 2 days watching Williamson and Taylor do it. So I hope it shouldn't be beyond them. I mean, we batted quite long in England for certainly a couple of the games anyway. This might be a slightly different proposition. Doesn't look like it's doing as much. When we were batting yesterday, it didn't seem like it was doing as much off the pitch. It didn't look like it was doing much in the air, but it was a little bit uneven bounce, and that could be difficult with Wagner on.
Wagner actually got injured, didn't he? As far as I know, he's broken a foot. But New Zealand cricket has said that he's going to try to pass a fitness test this morning. I don't know how you do that when you've broken a foot, but it'll be interesting to see if he actually bowls and how well he can bowl with a broken foot.
You see, if he was Indian, they'd get a concussion substitute on.
Well, I doubt he can have concussion in his foot.
Yeah, Indians can. I could get you there.
So lunch predictions. We said Imi was 96 for 1. Akakwa was 96 for 3. I was 100 for 2. Kal, Nav, Umar.
77
Umar.
for 5.
Well, sorry, what was that, Nav?
77 for 5.
Acha, and Kal?
Get him off.
110 for 2.
Acha, and Omar's not here at the moment. He's gone walkabout to find some headphones. We're trying to get them back off Habib.
Habib, you still there? Where is he? Go and find him.
And if you are not to remember the board draw series, maybe 20 years ago, with Lane made 100.
Nav, you might have to speak up a little bit. I don't know if anyone else can hear Nav. I can't hear you so well.
Yes,
do you remember the board draw from a few years ago when Lane made his Test century?
Was that the New Zealand down here in 03?
About there, and he batted and he batted and I think it was a rain affected sore, and he batted forever. We made a massive score, but he got a century eventually over like 2 or 3 days.
Just one objection to that. Just before Doctor, you take over, just one objection. That's a few more than a few more years.
He's only the other year.
Yeah, go on.
No, I'm trying to think. Did we end up winning that game, or was that a different one that we? I remember there was one where we chased about 280, which is not like us at all. I think Indy and Yusuf did the job on that game.
That game was a high scoring board draw.
Right.
I'm back. Can you hear me?
No.
Well, hello, Omar.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can. Yeah.
Technical difficulties.
We've not
Don't
lost
worry,
a
that's normal.
We've not lost a wicket yet.
Lunch prediction. Mohammad Abbas is going to do a Jason Gillespie.
Next question. Who do we think the best opener in Pakistan is?
Right now.
At the moment.
Yeah.
Imam's good.
Imam.
Babar as well. Yeah, obviously Babar, isn't it?
Are we to which format?
Best opener.
The best opener or test opener?
Yeah.
Sean and Abid.
Sean might have made a century, but Sean will not have a long career.
I don't know. You know, it's a question that sort of kills us every time. You think about it, and there's no one exceptional.
I think Imam could be.
Sean, Abid, Imam, and Sami Aslam. They're all at the same level.
I think Imam's the best.
Well, Sami Aslam's gone now.
Well,
Imam worries me against the short ball. I think he might see off the new ball, but I don't think he'd go a lot further than that in these conditions. I think Shah and Abi are the best two at the moment. To be honest, I'm glad they're opening right now.
I agree.
I think Imam's not been given a chance, has he, in Test matches, really, over an extended period.
Yeah, I'll be quite impressed by Abid here, because he's gone against his natural instincts. Because he's like a fairly an attacking cricket player. So he's just like basically said, no, I'm gonna put value to my wicket, which is good.
Who, Imam or Abid?
Abid right now in this particular inning so far.
You think he's an attacking player?
His natural game is a bit more. I mean, without being over aggressive, but he's someone who likes to stay busy, gets bat onto ball.
What do you mean? He flirts outside the off stump?
Yeah, pretty much. He's gone against that.
Every Pakistani opener since time immemorial has flirted outside the off stump.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, you see Southie bowling right now, and it shouldn't worry us because there's hardly any movement, and you've got someone who's just coming in early 80s, just bowling in. It shouldn't worry us at all.
It shouldn't worry us, but given their success the last 4 or 5 years in their own conditions, they do wear teams down. They shouldn't have got to 430 yesterday, but they did, and I knew they'd get to 430 because their tail always wags. They've got 2 or 3 players. They've got De Grunholm, they've got Jameson, they've got Mitchell, bowling all-rounders who come in at 7 or 8. Satner and Watling always do something.
Mm-hmm. The Brit says Sean's had 5 fails in a row, and he needs an innings. Yes, he does.
People count Satner as a tail-ender, but he's not. He's won games for New Zealand.
He's got a test. He's not a tail-ender.
So he's not a tail-ender.
He's like Vittoria's love child, isn't he?
And Watling, for example, is averages around just under 40 over 3,500 runs. I mean, some of the first comments I was looking at social media were like, you're talking about a number 10 batsman here. He's a very, very good cricketer.
Even Bolt, who cannot bat.
And then Nav, Watling's is South Africa born. What you get worked up now?
So's De Grunholm. And so's Jameson, I think.
De Grunholm's not playing this game, though, is he? Thankfully.
No.
Thankfully.
That's the sort of player that I get scared of.
Well,
the innocuous ones, because they're the ones who run us around. So it's good they haven't got anyone like that. Oh, they're trying to bounce a boss.
Are you watching on some kind of stream because you're behind us?
Yeah, they just got a really full one on what I've just seen.
What are you watching on, Nimi?
I'm actually watching it on the TV, but I'm actually on a stream because the TV downstairs, I can't be near it.
For medical reasons.
Yeah, so well left.
Abbas is not a bad.
How many balls are behind you guys? He's just blocked the ball.
One whole ball.
One whole ball.
Because we've just seen the next one where he's left it.
Mm-hmm. Shaz says just been on Twitter and seen Neil Wagner is fit enough to bowl. Let's see. I mean, it can't be easy having a broken foot and still bowling. But let's see.
Is it broken though?
How did you break it?
Doc,
absolutely no clue. I'm sure it's broken. I'm sure it's broken.
How did you break it?
Shaheen Yorker.
I wasn't there.
Well done.
I wasn't there. But I'll...
Imi, you've muted yourself.
So it's completely gone.
Another bouncer.
Yeah, so it was a Yorker, wasn't it? It was a Shaheen Yorker that was. I think it was a good shout, but it was missing leg stump.
Have any bowled him off a no ball as well?
Yes, yeah. Oh, that was a brilliant delivery, wasn't it?
The Braves asks, what's our opinion on Night Watchman? And what signal does it give to the opposition? I've always found the concept of Night Watchman quite good. It's always interesting to see someone get a decent score.
He apparently has an X-ray has confirmed an undisplaced fracture to Neil Wagner's fourth right toe, but he's been cleared by the doctor to play.
A toe isn't as bad. If it was a foot and you were landing that foot every time, that'd be a lot worse.
Yeah, just get a bit of strapping on that, and but it's. I mean, I don't know. I've never broken my toe, but it can't be easy running in over after over with a broken toe, even just purely from a pain point of view.
And he's pretty like hustle and bustle, isn't he? He's not. Yeah. He puts he does the dog overs.
Yeah, he's someone who puts a lot of work into his bowling.
So, from a night watchman point of view, the thing that I've always struggled to kind of understand is that you send a night watchman in when the conditions are kind of difficult to bat, maybe not much to gain. Fielder putting pressure on. Surely that makes it a difficult time to bat. Surely that's when you need someone who's good at the job rather than someone who's not good at the job.
But I think just like you said, there's not much to gain in the last few overs. More or less. But if they can come out the next morning fresh and maybe the bowlers aren't as pumped up and it's not as tense, then it's probably a bit easier.
Yeah,
wasn't it Eunice Khan who actually once said that if you have to send a night watchman out, then that means the batsman who is not going out, that means he's not good enough yet to be playing for your team.
Yeah, but
was it Eunice?
Yeah, it was. But what do you gain as a batsman going into face 2 or 3 overs in pure survival mode? It's the most difficult time. But as a spectator, watching a night watchman has always been very good. Some of the best innings have been played by night watchmen. Tino Best was a night watchman when he got his 99, wasn't he? Ashton Hager was a night watchman. Salim Youssef when he got his 91. Headingley 87. Any of you remember that?
Alex Tudor 99, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, good for them. But I don't know. I'd just say if you're a proper batsman, then you can face 2-3 overs at the end of the day, and it shouldn't make a difference to you. The Aussies, I don't think the Aussies like it very much. They've kind of phased it out, haven't they? was it Steve Waugh's Australians that kind of maybe just after that they kind of stopped really kind of sending night watchmen in quite as much as other teams.
Well, they used Ashton Agar, didn't they?
They used Nathan Lyon in the Dubai a few times.
Yeah, maybe it was a little period of time. It may have come back into fashion there, but I don't know. I'm not a great fan, to be honest.
I mean, there's a few things that even like following on right now, it's become like a common thing where people don't say you shouldn't follow on. Sorry, make the opposition follow on. So there's a few things out there.
Interesting field position they've used. They've put two players, sort of mid-wicket region, haven't they? Almost one in front of each other.
Arvid's got that little shovel he plays across onto the onside sometimes. That might be the thinking behind that.
No, they've done it for a bath.
Oh, is that a bath? Yeah. Fair enough. I know Arvid's got that little thing though, so maybe might have it for him as well.
I think they may try and bounce him.
I was going to say I wasn't aware of Abbas's leg side game being particularly good. But fair enough.
But at least he's playing sensibly. I mean, he's half an hour where he's taken up 25 balls.
Oh well.
It's not like some of our bowlers. I'm really surprised that Misbah hasn't somehow picked Rahat Ali for this tour.
Well, he's got one half. He's got the Sohail Khan of the half of the kind of deadly duo, isn't he?
Sohail Khan was it 2016? He was running out of steam, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's his. Actually, pulled out a stat of his the other day. In New Zealand in 2016, he picked up in the 2 Test matches. He picked up 7 wickets. The thing about them 7 wickets was
they cost him about
7 wickets was 3 wickets and 4 wickets in the 2 Test matches, first innings, and in the second innings, I think one Test he bowled 5 overs, and the other one he bowled a few more than that, but he went wicketless. So it just shows he went out of steam. He couldn't cope after that.
And where's Imran Khan? He was opening the bowling for us last time in Australia. He's totally disappeared.
I don't rate him.
No, not do I.
That's me.
He was in the last squad, wasn't he?
He went to Australia this time last year.
Yeah, he opened the bowling.
Mm-hmm.
We left the Bath out.
So we faced 25.1 overs at the moment on my screen, and we're 36 for 1.
Well, you missed the ball in a run.
25.2, 37 for 1. We beat India's score. Small wins, right?
I thought I'd get a 36 India while I could see it on my screen.
I mean, we've done well to see off 20 overs. I mean, 25 overs. They've bounced the bus.
They're really trying to go with this bouncing, aren't they?
We would do the same because Abbas is a number 11, isn't he?
Well, he's on number 3 today, so.
He sticks out for another half hour, and he's done his job.
The thing that I see here right now is if Abbas can actually bat 27 odd balls and largely look unworried, our batsmen should take a lot of confidence out of this and say, you know what, we can actually, get something out of this game.
I mean, once another team scored 400, you are really looking to draw the Test match, aren't you? There's not many. Yeah. There's not many opportunities for you to win the Test match after all that.
I mean, winning it would actually mean like us to get around 370, 380 and end up bowling them out for, 60, 70 yard. It's just not going to happen, is it?
Or getting 430 quickly and then bowling them out quickly and having a very small score to make on the last day.
Well, it's only this is day 3, right? So if we make this is ridiculously looking ahead into the future, isn't it? But if we get to, let's say we get to 280 by the end of today, and then we get to, I don't know, 530 by the end of tomorrow, right? No, I can see all my laughing already. Right, well, that's a lead of 100. It would take.
Stop you, mate. Are you a doctor of medicine? You don't get high on your own shit.
All right, fine. We'll leave it there. Let's just get to lunch, and then we'll see what happens after that. But that's how we can win this game. It's by batting once and batting big, like really big, like bigger than any of us thought we could.
Doc, when was the last time Pakistan scored 500?
Sorry.
When was the last time we scored 500?
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while.
You know what? It actually reminds me the World Cup game against Bangladesh.
Yeah.
When fans were actually saying, why are we trying to get 500? It's like we never get 500 in a test match. How are we supposed to do that in the ODI?
Apparently it stopped running in Bristol at some stage.
Yeah, I guess so. Sean's issue of getting caught behind down the leg side. Why in cricket is it considered unlucky? If anything, it's a ball that should go for runs. Doctor, what do you?
Unlucky.
It's one of them, isn't it, Doctor?
Well, it's just you feel like you want to get out to a good ball, not a bad ball, right? So if you get out to a bad ball, you feel like the bowler hasn't got you out; you've got yourself out. It's not like it's one that's pitched on leg and hit the top of off that you can't do anything about. It's a ball that should be put away, and it's usually a combination. I mean, the only thing is, there are some players who are just generally quite bad at playing that shot, and it can almost be a plan for some batsmen. I'm trying to think of some others that come to mind. I'm sure Alistair Cook used to get caught down the leg side quite a few times, actually. So you can sometimes target players that way, but I guess it's just because you think you shouldn't get out to a ball that's going down leg side.
It tends to happen to left-handed batsmen more than right-handed batsmen as well. Something to do with the angle, taking it, just going across them and just getting in the wrong position.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know it wasn't caught, it wasn't caught down the leg side, but every time I think of something like that, Ijaz Ahmed comes into my head. Was it Dominic Cork in 96? I think it was. You're just shuffling across and getting bowled. It's like, seriously.
Well, I'll tell a story here. Ijaz Ahmed, as we all know, was Salim Malik's brother-in-law, or is Salim Malik's brother-in-law. And in '87, when they came over, we went to the first game of the first proper game. They played the Duchess of Norfolk's 11, which was all the warm-up game. The second game Pakistan played was against Surrey, and that was a long tour. It started, I think, in late April, and went on till August. And Ijaz Ahmed was 17, first tour, and at the end of the game, he was walking around to all the supporters. Only about 50 or 60 supporters on the ground. Very, very cold day. Going, I don't think I want to make the test team. I was obviously in Punjabi. Have you got a job that I can come and stay in England? He was always after the money.
That's obviously nothing to do with that dismissal against Dominic Cork, though, right?
No, absolutely nothing.
It's a Pakistani side story.
Yes.
Nav, in what year did you watch your first game?
82.
82?
Yeah.
Guys, was anyone born in 82?
The two things to remember about 82 is David Constant.
I was actually born in 82.
David Constant beat us. Mohsin Khan's 200.
Depends
and
what
there was a
month,
player in the third test match we'd had a couple of injuries, and Pakistan plays this player called Estas Hamuddin, right? Who played in Bolton leagues. Turned up, right? And I swear he was a member of the kid community. I've never seen such an player ever play cricket.
So was that the England tour, Nav, that you started watching it then?
It was, the Pakistan. Pakistan tour of England. It was Imran Khan's first series as captain. I could probably name the team as well. Who's down in the room with you?
Was that Riz sat next to me?
Mrs. Riz.
There's no Mrs. There's no Mrs. sat next to me. I coughed, yeah. And she goes, you just coughed, and I was like, it's on mute, and I completely forgot to put the camera that way. Fine.
So,
where's Riz?
So who remembers the 87 tour?
Nobody was born now. Forget it.
I was going to ask my
No, I was born, but I was too young I think, at that time. Well, 4 years old.
I was 5 at the time.
I was 4.
I was 5 years old at the time. I can remember 88 vaguely.
87. Okay. In the Oval Test, Imi, you know the answer to this. You can't solve them. In 1987, Pakistan made 708 against England. And England had to follow on. Wasim Akram done something in that Test match that he never did again, as far as I'm aware. Do you know what that is?
Oh, that's a good question.
Let's have a think.
It won't be a hat trick because he got 3 hat tricks, didn't he? 2 or 3.
Oh, he must have got a century or something, or a 50.
No, he's done that. He got a double 100 against Zimbabwe, so it's not that.
I don't know what Nav asked.
Right.
All I know, he said, Imi, you know the answer, and I switched off after that.
What did he do? Take 2 catches.
Oh, let me guess. He took some money or something.
Is that the answer? Bowls 5 no ball?
No.
Did he get a wicket off the first ball of the innings?
No.
Go on then.
Right. Well, basically, the match was meandering to a draw. Wasim Akram had appendicitis, had to go off, serve his appendix at some stage. Before that, he bowled 3 overs of left arm spin.
Oh.
something you never knew.
No, good knowledge.
And no, he was a bit of fast bowler than he was a spinner.
Yeah.
Just a bit.
Come on, boys. This is what I didn't want us to just go stagnated on, like, and just look to defend.
Babe, you're tiring them out. If they're a bowler, still
defending.
But I mean, this is exactly what they did to us.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Okay, this is one for the stats guys. I don't know the answer, but what's the most balls somebody's faced without scoring a run?
Chris Tavray probably at some stage.
Abbas is currently 36 balls. I don't know the answer.
Oh, I'm trying to think. I don't know.
Let's Google it.
I think they're trying to
how many balls?
Sorry, what was the question?
Most balls faced without scoring a run.
I mean, just thinking of last year, how many balls did Leach face before he got one? Go on, Ahmed, have you got the answer?
According to this, it says the New Zealand player
77, Jeff Howlett.
Abbas has faced 36 balls.
Who was that then? Who was it? New Zealand's?
Jeff Howlett.
Fair enough.
Against South Africa in Auckland.
He's taking the shine off the ball, which is good.
I mean, he's faced 36 balls, So what? He's faced 6 overs, which is not bad.
He's taken up 40 minutes to play, hasn't he? He's taking any moisture out of the wicket.
Nav, who scored the slowest ever Test century?
Madassa Nazar. 1977 against England.
How many balls?
300 something, wasn't it?
229.
Well, we scored 6 runs so far today.
7?
Oh man,
Was
the
it 30
answer's here. Who scored the most ducks? Longest ball. How though? Blood has lost 3 balls.
That's what his wife says too.
Yeah, enough.
Come on, man.
Oh, shut up.
Oh, the phone.
Much needed. They're weird pictures though, aren't they? Like, they look green, but there's nothing really happening there. It's quite easy to get excited.
It was the same against West Indies, and then
From that view where he bowled there, it looked like he's running up a hill or something.
In the first half hour, what we've seen is New Zealand have swung the ball nicely, challenged Pakistan batters on a few occasions. Just a slightly slower
chocolate.
pitch. Something which is
Abbas has got a single.
Abbas has got a single.
Well done, Abbas.
a long and patient game. It's connected quick.
And get big ovation from the crowd as well.
The next 2 days in particular will be a real hard slog.
If he scores about 10, he's going to do a full lap of the ground.
That ball doesn't look like it's got a lot of shine on it, does it?
Which Armin appreciates. The record's intact. Oh, that's a great smile.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with this batting. This is proper Test match batting.
But don't you think it's a bit slow? A bit extra slow?
This is typical Pakistani. I'll bat faster, and they start losing wickets. Bat slower.
Yeah, but the problem is if we lose wickets here now without scoring anything, we're in even deeper trouble.
I guess this is where the New Zealand players could trust their technique, couldn't they? Knowing that even when it was only 40 for 2 or 50 for 2 for a while, they thought, you know what, we can keep out the good balls, and we'll outbore Pakistan. So we've got to think the same. We've got to think that we'll outbore them, and we'll just go and bat to the end of the day.
If you were Abid Ali and you knew Azhar Ali, Haris Sohail, and Fawad Alam are the next 3 in, there's no guarantee any of them are going to succeed, is it?
Mm-hmm.
No.
This is the first time since 1996. It's not going to happen in this innings because Abbas obviously batted at 3. But this is the first time since 1996, that we've got 3 lefties in the top 7.
Really?
Apparently, that's what I read.
How many Test centuries have we got? How many Test centuries have we got in this team?
However many others got, probably.
Abid's got 2.
Abid's got one, hasn't he?
Yeah. Abid's got 1. Yeah, 2.
Abid's got 2 or 3. Shan's got 3. Whatever Azhar's got. Harris has got 1, I think.
Didn't Harris get 1 against New Zealand last year?
Harris got 1, I think.
Harris has got 1. Fawaz's got 1.
I don't think Riz has got 1 yet.
No,
Riz is new.
Yasser's got 1.
Yeah.
1 more than Ward.
I wonder in 1996, who could have been the 4 lefties in the top 7? I guess the 2 openers. Saeed Anwar and Amrit Sohail. Asim Mustafa?
Shadab Kabir?
No.
Maybe, yes.
Yes.
It could have been Asim Mustafa and Shadab Kabir.
Yeah, Shadab played.
Well, where did Waz bat?
7.
7, so it's possible.
Asif
No,
Mustafa.
Vasim would have been more 8, I would presume.
In 96. Yeah, Shadab opened in one of the games.
Why did it disappear?
Shadab, Ahmed, Said Anwar, Mujtaba was here in 92. Don't think he was here in 96.
So let's see. But yeah, so that's something I just read like randomly.
He's got a very good defense technique, hasn't he, Abbas?
Yeah, because he's got an attacking technique, has he? What did we think of Fahim?
Did his job.
Decent. I thought he was decent.
He was never going to run through anyone on this pitch, was he?
He needs a little green top, doesn't he? A bit of nibble. But you say that, how many teams did Abdul Razak run through?
Yeah, not many. Not in Test cricket.
I mean, if you look at Razak's Test career, it was just a story of underachievement, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
He was another waste of talent.
Absolute waste.
Are we saying waste in terms of what he could have been with the talent that he had?
Yes,
or are we saying
for the amount of talent he has, he didn't achieve anything in Test cricket, really.
I still remember 2 games what he played. One was that South Africa game when he just won it single-handedly.
Oh, the ODI in the Emirates.
Yeah, ODI, yeah. I think it was against South Africa in Dubai. I think it was.
Yeah.
The other one was I don't think it was a particular game, but I don't know if you remember. I think it was in World 2020 in England when he came over. He flown over. Someone got injured and they flown him over.
Yeah.
And he made a big difference to the squad when he came in.
He opened the ball
2 times, but I remember.
The other thing I remember, Mahali Test match in 2005. Him and Cameron Ukmal saved it on day 5, I think. And then there was just the other ones. I mean, there's quite a few that you can think of, but the other one is. I just had it now a second ago. What was it? There was a one-day game in the 2010 tour at Lords.
Yeah, 5.
Went absolutely nuts at the end. And
last 2 overs.
Sorry?
Was that Lords, wasn't it?
It was Lords, yeah, and it got us up to a good target of about 270, which we ended up winning to make it 2-2.
262.
That's it, and we were nowhere near that going into the last 5-6 overs. So
we're absolutely mad about the last 2 overs.
That was.
I don't think it was just Test cricket, but I think even in one-day cricket, Razak had what he achieved and what his potential was are 2 different things. But then I think he was underutilizing ODIs because he just became an end-over slugger. Which he's a better batsman than that.
Just looking at his stats, he played 46 Test matches and scored 1,900 runs. 1946 at 28, 300s and 750s, and he took 100 wickets at 36.
Uh-huh.
Do you remember the run out of Sehwag in that Bangalore Test that we won?
Yeah, when he hit the
from mid-off. I think he. I've been nibbled at one there.
The extra bounce.
I think from mid-off, he had 1 stump to aim at. We were going nowhere before lunch. We needed 10 Indian wickets in a day. And that was back when if you got Sehwag, you basically got the rest of the whole team. He was so good at that point. That's one memory of Razak. That was a really, really good tour, 2005 to India. We won the... who goes to India and goes 2-0 down in a one-day series and comes back to win 4-2? Very rarely does that happen.
Yeah.
You see, at the time we had...
he did drop Tendulkar, didn't he, in the 2003 World Cup?
Difficult catch for him, but yeah, no, I remember that. Yeah.
Well, we had Razak and Azhar Mahmood at the time, and we made a choice to go with Razak in Test cricket, when Mahmood might have been the better choice at the time.
But if you think back to that, it's just kept a bit low, maybe. If you think back to that '99 World Cup, Razak was batting at 3. I'm sure Razak came in at 3 in that World Cup.
Yeah, against Australia.
Yeah.
Blocked and we went absolutely mental in the last 10 overs.
I was telling the guys the other night that for a long time, that's been my favourite ever Pakistan game. Just everything about that game was Pakistan in the 90s. Everything about that game.
Well, the Inzamam run out.
Inzamam ran out, 3 down for about 40, late over slogging, early wickets, think you're going to lose the game, win it with some Yorkers at the end with 95 per hour bowling. That is Pakistan, isn't it? Just everything in one game.
We made
a pitch invasion at the end in Leeds. Come on.
We made 267 and we made 102 in the last 10 overs.
Pitch invasion.
Yeah, and that would be Moeen Khan with his slog sweep, probably.
Yeah, it was.
Good times.
And Wasim Akram getting Gilchrist early on.
Yes. I'll tell you, for a few years around that time, so if you think back, '99 World Cup, we beat Australia in the group game. Obviously, we won't talk about the final. And then
400 quid, I think it was 400 bloody quid.
And then 2001, we had that tri-series in this country as well.
Yeah,
we gave Australia a good go in that one as well. We won't talk about the final. And then we won a one-day series down there in 2002-3, I think, just before the World Cup. So that team against Australia, considering how good Australia were at that time.
Australia were good, but if you look at our team of the time, we had Syed Anwar, we had Afridi, we had Inzamam, we had Yusuf Yahan, as it was. We had Moeen Khan, we had Azhar, we had Razak, we had Shoaib, we had Waqar, we had Wasim. We shouldn't have. We were a very, very good team.
Yeah. Abid looks really hurt here, doesn't he? Oh, he's gone to a break. How helpful.
Oh, for God's sake.
We had a very, very good team. We had 1 or 2 players. We had Vajidullah Vasti, who shouldn't really be in the team. But
Salim Ilahi.
Oh, Salim Ilahi.
What a donkey. Watching him field was like watching someone drag 10 bags of sand. Like he was like weighed down by bags of sand. He couldn't run or something, anything. But I mean, we had the basis of a very, very. We had about 9 decent players. And we had 2 passengers. I mean, Salim Malik came to the '99 World Cup, and
that might have broken it. Oh, that's one of the finger breakers. That is. Ouch.
Hope he's wearing English gloves.
The last ball was ankle high, and then this one was chest high. So.
Well, Jamieson is 6'10" or something stupid. He's lost enough.
He looks okay. He'll
be all right. Just do a magic spray job.
How tall is our physio?
About 11. Ooh, okay.
He looks like the who's that defender for Leicester? Is it Soyuncu, the Turkish bloke? It looks like him.
I think he just wanted his name coin.
Who's the 12th man?
But
is that Imran Butt? He is, yeah.
Yeah.
You say Salman, but in fact, I don't think
physio.
He won't even get the drink.
Physio reminds me of Chris Keynes.
No, but '99 we had a very, very good team. It was just we peaked too early.
Yeah, that was well. There's all sorts of rumours, isn't there, about the final and everything that goes with that. But then, and then 4 years later, we all see that one. And then 4 years later, we had a pretty similar team 4 years later, but they were all essentially coming to the end of their careers at around the same time, and which is why that is just up. I mean, the 03 and 07 World Cup, my God, those 2 World Cups were just an absolute nightmare. And 03 was
the 03 World Cup, I think we started off, our first game was against Australia. It was Eid.
It was on Eid. That was on Eid, that game was.
It was an Eid, and it wasn't on the radio. And this was before the internet, and I had to go to work. So I remember Australia being 39 for 4 and driving to work. By the time I got to work, Simmons had a lucky escape and we dropped him, didn't we? Simmons, and it was just downhill from there. And that was Wasim and Waqar's last game for Pakistan.
And then Makai units got taken off the two demons.
yeah.
And Jimmy Anderson doing but then.
Oh my god.
You know, they still go on. Well, obviously they're going to go on about it, but it's because obviously Anderson now with his 600 wickets. Whenever they talk about his great career, of course they always take it back to the start, and they say we all remember the day he came. You know, and he came on the scene. It was against Pakistan under the lights at Cape Town.
No. He done the same against India though, didn't he, on the same tournament?
Yeah, but I think India won that game because I think Nehra even outswung Anderson. I think in that game, I think India beat them, but Nehra got 6.
Oh, bloody hell. Santner's having some pie chucking, isn't he?
Oh, don't say that, Amy, you'll jinx it.
But, you know, that was Shoaib Akhtar's 100 miles an hour tournament, wasn't it? And we lost to the enemy. It was just.
I remember doing that. Yeah.
That was a Saturday. The pain is burned deep.
Oh, tell me about it, right? So the India game, I think it's the India game a week later.
On a Saturday.
I think that was a Saturday or a Sunday.
It was on a Saturday. We lost.
I think it was
Saturday.
We lost both games on a Saturday.
Because the day, so my weekend, right? And just be me for a second, right? So my weekend was, I'm sure it was Pakistan India on a Saturday and United Liverpool in the Worthington Cup final back then on the Sunday.
Okay.
And yeah, we came out on the short end. Umar, obviously, you'd have been happy the next day, I'm sure, but we came out on the wrong end of it that weekend, big time. It was.
Interesting. Umar, what's the football score today?
I can't hear you. Man.
What's the football score today?
I can't hear you. Shut up and watch the cricket.
I think there's only one Liverpool sport in the game there.
You get held to draw by a dinosaur.
So, please, just go.
Oh, talk about dinosaurs, yeah? How good does it feel? You just see Jose plug the bus from the second minute up to the 85th and then concede.
I didn't watch it. It was one that I turned it off.
Seriously, it's the style of football. How boring is it? They park the bus.
If they never show Jose Mourinho on the touchline very much, but when the game is going, he'll run up and down the touchline, indicating which way he thinks the throw-in should go or the free kicks. He's almost refereeing on the touchline. He does try and influence the referee in everything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see a problem with that. I mean, I wish Ole would do that more. To be honest, Ferguson was a master of that.
Yeah, no, I don't mind that, but you know what? You see the football that Spurs are playing right now. The style of football you think.
That's got him.
Is he out?
Yeah, shagging in towards Abid. I think he's played on. I was just about to say he looks comfortable despite the injury. Clearly not. Did that keep a bit low?
This James is a dangerous piece of work.
I haven't seen it yet.
Well, you will. Let's have a look.
You'll be this ball.
Oh,
Through button bad.
Good ball.
He's not got forward or back to that, has he? Really?
Yeah, he just got the. He's going to take about 7.
Did his back get stuck in the ground or something?
No, he's not got forward or back to that.
It's just like his back just stuck there and the ball just bounced straight over the something.
This Jameson's a dangerous piece of.
He's gone over it, hasn't he?
It seems like that ball that hit his fingers got to him because that is poor.
He's done all the hard work.
But that's the point,
He ended up.
Saying before.
You see at the end, the way his bat's come forward,
See, this is the problem.
It's a bit more like a tail ender.
Yeah, and then at the end, he gave his wicket. What was the point? You'd rather play an attacking game, yeah? If you score, at least you've got a score on the board. But instead of just defending, and you still give the wicket, there's no point. You're just wasting the time.
This is such a Pakistani attitude. Oh, well, we should attack. And
No, but I'm just trying to say, okay, so look how many balls has he played now, yeah? It's not a matter of a Pakistani, attitude. What I'm trying to say is he's wasted all that time and then he still got out. So you'd rather attack if he got out on attacking, you know.
Time is not important in Test cricket. It's not like we've got a limited number of overs.
I think what Cal's trying to point out is there's a thing of just basically not even trying to score, and there's a point of you just at least look to maneuver the scoreboard, put some pressure on the bowlers.
Jameson's got 2 for 5 of 7.2 overs.
He's going to take about 7. Don't worry, about 7 for 30 or something. Probably.
Atif.
Where's our admin gone today?
iPhone charger.
No permission slip.
The admin there. So that way.
No permission slip.
See, he didn't move. His front foot did not move.
Is it? Am I imagining things, or after the 100 he got against Australia in that one-day series before the World Cup, did they not get him out like that a few times? I'm trying to think. I think they did. No.
Possibly.
They're going to try to get us to LBW.
That was a nothing shot as well. That was, what was that?
I think, Cal, I guess what you're saying is rather than getting 25 off 100, you're better off getting, I don't know what, 40 off 70 or something.
What I'm trying to say is, if you obviously just, instead of doing tuk, yeah, you're giving more confidence to the bowler as well. If you're trying to attack him, the bowler's going to be thinking different things. This way, they just need to bowl one line and length here. You're going to make a mistake one time, 100%. If you're looking to defend all the time, you're definitely going to make a mistake once. And that's all they need. If you're just looking to defend all the time, there's no pressure on the bowler at all, or the fielding side.
So it almost feels like we've taken it to the completely the other extreme of just becoming kind of shotless, really.
Exactly.
Basically, we're just over 1 run and over. We've got 39 runs in 32 overs.
What do they have?
Not a lot more than this, but more than this. I reckon they must be going at about nearly 2 and over, nearly 2.
But I think it was a different ball game because they was in trouble.
Long one.
We had them 3 down.
My one.
So it was a total different ball game then.
I do agree. I agree with Cal. There's no point. Look, 33 overs, 39.
They had to regroup. It was a different story because we got quick wickets, so they had to really regroup. But we didn't. We was only 1 down.
We've got 33 in 40 overs. Where are we going with this inning? True.
I mean, no one's saying like they've got to stop throwing the bat by the ball.
Yeah, but obviously play your shots as well. Not just completely defend.
If you get a ball in your arc, at least look to score.
We're effectively 43.
Nav, we can't hear you. I don't know if you're talking to us.
Yeah, I said we're effectively 40 for 3.
Yeah. Oh well, and then if you count the bars, it's 40 for 4.
That's what I mean. 40 for 3.
Oh yeah, I'm kidding.
Cal, the Braves wants a tuk in the accent again.
Oh, shot boundary. Bars. Flourishing drive through slips.
Bars.
With that, we treble our score, I think, from today.
Plug it in.
Oh, 50 up for Bath. That's his 50th delivery.
Yeah, Bath got a 4. Right.
It's a lovely shot as well from a Bath. He played it on purpose.
The thing I would say is that I know we didn't bowl too many bad balls, but New Zealand haven't bowled too many bad balls here, have they? There's not been many freebies. There's not been a lot on the legs. I haven't seen a pitch map or anything. But I don't think there's been very much on the legs at all.
Yeah, there was one which bowled on the legs. We managed to get out to it.
yeah.
Azhar Ali, vulnerable in the first 15, 20 balls he faces, isn't he?
Yeah, that's a Pakistani thing.
What? Being vulnerable?
No, basically getting out in your first 10, 15 balls. I mean, Inzi used to hate it, Yusuf, Yunus.
The thing with
There's quite
Pakistan
a few of them.
with Pakistan bat, you've always got to have like a pillow or something just to, like that. There's never a feeling that they're stably in.
While I just said that, a couple of a thing just coming to my head.
Oh gosh!
I said I used the word Mohammed Yusuf just there. Anyone else here? I mean, he's my favorite ever Pakistan batsman that I've seen.
So,
anyone else rate him that highly?
Yeah. So
he was elegant. Couldn't feel
fantastic cricketer.
Yeah, he's one of the best athletes.
Going back to that game, 2010, and there's a catch goes up towards the end, and Mohammed Yusuf's under a skyer, and when he catches it, everyone was amazed, weren't they?
That was that Lord's game that I mentioned, the one that Razak got the.
I was there.
Yeah, same. You know what? That's one of the few day-night one-day games at Lord's. I can't remember many day-night games at Lord's at all, actually.
No.
Because I remember I had a train to catch up to Manchester, and the game didn't finish till about 9:30 or something.
So because I went
was
to the Oval
was that
when
the
we
year
were
when he
losing,
was the highest test score of the year?
That was 06, I think.
Was 06? Yeah.
Oh shit!
Abbas is gone.
Abbas is gone.
It was going to happen. I told you. But I went to the Oval game where Umar Gul got those 5 wickets, where I was about 180 for 3 or 4, and I'm putting my jacket back on. Suddenly,
Umar, are you off? Umar's gone.
Yeah, Mrs. Umar's come into the room. He's had to go.
Fair enough.
So the jacket was on. Take a wicket. Jacket comes off. Another wicket, and the jumper's off. And I'm jumping up and down. And then we went to Lords and won the game with Razak and Umar Gul. And then we got tickets for
Southampton.
Yeah, Southampton, right? The 26th of September, 28th of September, really late on. And we had them about 5 down, and Morgan and someone got a load of runs at the end. And then
we were never in that chase, were we?
We were, because we were 110 without loss. Hafiz,
really?
Hafiz and Kamal Akbar.
Are you sure we were 100? I remember thinking as soon as England got a big score in that game, I thought we're not winning this.
Yeah, I think we started losing wickets. Let me have a look. England.
Yeah, being in Pakistan 2010, wouldn't it? Southampton.
Pakistan. It's a horrible ground, Southampton.
Oh, I know. I've been caught out on the roads there.
And we'd also lost in the 2004 Champions Trophy semi-final. That game should have been abandoned and replayed. Do you know that?
Why?
When they lost their Pakistan lost their second or third wicket, a substitute fielder came on. Then the other player came on, and when we lost, I think, one of our wickets, they actually had 12 players on the field.
Oh, really?
We were there shouting, "You've got 12 players, you've got 12 players." And 2 of them, another one runs on, they sneak him off, and no one else spotted that.
Now, I'm not sure about this. We were bowled out for 135 in this game you're talking about.
Oh, well, yeah, 1 for 63. Sorry, 2 for 63, 3 for 80, 4 for 83. Yeah, we got to 6. We got to 60 in 12 overs.
Mm.
I mean, they didn't get a huge score, 256. We were one for 60 of 12 overs. Looked in good play, and then it started collapsing. I think we left at the 4th wicket. We were halfway down the M23 or whatever it is, M3 by the time Afridi got out. Yeah, I mean, 1 for 0 for 60, and then suddenly we just collapsed.
That was a really bad-tempered one-day series as well, because it was after all that, obviously the match fixing stuff. There was the They thought that the Lord's game, I think, was in doubt going ahead because of the Trot and Wahab stuff and whatever. What's his name? Ijaz Butt was talking about England match fixing and everything.
Yeah, Jonathan Trott got a lot of abuse from me, and all you have to do was shout mercenary, nothing but a mercenary, and he would turn around and start giving it to you like you want to fight, and you would go, "Yeah, well, come on then." And I knew at that time he was mentally weak, and as it later proved, because you shouldn't be reacting to me calling you a mercenary.
He was an intense individual.
He was a mercenary. I mean, they was a mentally weak England team because they also had the likes of Trot. They had what's his name in the team as well? Michael Yardy. So now we had England in that game. We had 3 for 59, 4 for 106, and we let them make 256. Much to my disappointment. Oh well.
I think we've got plenty of games where we've winning positions and we've lost.
Yeah. I don't think this is one of them.
We were never in a winning position.
Yeah.
So what's it? 43 for 3. 2 guys batting on 0 now.
Oh, we're going nowhere, are we, lads? Going absolutely nowhere here.
What was my prediction, boys? 77 for 5.
We won't even get to 77.
Harris is in. Now let's discuss Harris. He's another one. It doesn't field very well. Took a good catch yesterday, and opts out of tools left, right, and centre. He's got something to prove here.
Oh, you know, they used to talk about Ian Bell at the start of his career, kind of scoring quite easy runs, like he'd do well when the rest of the team has done well. That's the kind of vibe I get from Haris Sahel, is that he plays well when everyone else does well, but I can't, maybe I'm wrong, I can't think of a match-defining innings that he's played for us. Not recently, anyway. I know there was a World Cup game against South Africa last year. He batted well. Yeah, but when he bats well, though, he looks so pretty. You kind of get seduced by his cover drives and stuff.
Yeah, he doesn't score difficult runs. He doesn't field, and he doesn't look like he's the sort of bloke that if he's got even the slightest injury, he won't play. He won't play for the playing barrier. You know,
they're definitely trying to get us an LBW, aren't they?
Harris has been around since 2014. How many games has he played? How many series has he missed with the injury, this, that, and the other?
Yeah, but I mentioned the other night, I don't think his knee injury was particularly well, from what you read anyway, his knee injury wasn't particularly well diagnosed or treated back when it first happened.
Well, that's the story of every Pakistani injury, isn't it?
Yeah, well.
I mean, Shadab has been unfit for how long?
Oh, Shadab? Yeah.
On and off, he's been unfit for about a year now with injuries. Hassan Ali is just come back into fitness and is playing particularly well at the moment, to be honest.
Yeah, apparently he's been really good, yeah.
He got, did you see the ball? He got Fakhar Zaman out. Pinned it off stump back.
Yeah, it was a decent sort of leg cut to a right hander, wasn't it?
Apparently, Sharjil's pretty good as well. So I don't know if it's true or not, but I just read it somewhere that he's pretty good as well.
Who is?
Sharjil, in the opener.
Yeah. He didn't.
Shot.
For none.
It was a shot. I mean, but, you know, Harris is one of these players who's just been around for a long time and he just hasn't played enough. But he could be...
It reminds me of Phil Jones. How long has Phil Jones been in United for and barely played any games?
You know, Babber Harris, you know, so Azhar Babber Harris, you know, whoever comes after that, Fawad, sounds like quite a good top order.
Who reminds you of Phil Jones?
Haris Sahel with his injuries.
Oh, injury-wise, yeah.
Just missing games.
I thought as a player with talent, yeah. There's not many close to Phil Jones, are they?
Phil Jones, from an independent, when he first came to Man United, he was a good player. He could play, but I think his problem is he wasn't quite a centre back and he wasn't quite a central midfielder. You've not found a position for him.
Well, everyone
To
thought
be
that
honest,
Jones and Smalling was going to be our Rio and Vidic when they left, but it never quite happened. He got injured.
He's too nice.
Just doesn't matter.
you know what? Phil Jones, he's someone who's sometimes you think he's too good. If you get what I'm trying to say, he's so comfortable a lot of the time, and then he slacks off. Yeah, and he's always got 1 or 2 errors every 90 minutes in him.
Sounds like any Pakistani batsman. Don't make me laugh.
Oh, I don't know, man.
So we've got 2 new batsmen and 0. They're going to have to get their
Go on, Harry.
Shot.
Shot, good. It didn't play right through. Don't get run out, lads, please. Goodness sake.
This is Hamza's favourite player.
Which one?
Hardest to hell.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's on every list he sends us.
Yeah, he loves to do a saying, hardest to hell, and 4 other items.
I know he's a big Hussain Dillard fan.
Yeah,
yeah.
But he's only a fan now. He was a big Usman Salahuddin fan as well. He changed his mind. He'd never seen him play.
And the other one, he absolutely adored Shoaib Malik.
Yeah, all right.
No,
you can't stand Shoaib Malik's name.
That was a very, very good game. 2001, that tournament, England Pakistan at Lords.
What a game!
Well, I was there. I the only ticket I could get for that was a corporate hospitality ticket. There weren't many Pakistanis. The 2 things I remember about that game is abusing Awais Shah, and Malik played as a spinner, and he batted
9 or something.
9 or 10. The thing is, when we get Truskothic out, Truskothic hits it out towards a mid-wicket boundary, and Afridi takes out Malik and dislocates his shoulder.
Yeah.
And he gets carried off. And I think the last ball, they need 4 to win.
It's Glenn to Caddick, wasn't it?
It's a Glenn to Caddick. Caddick comes running out the wicket trying to hit it for 6. And before the ball is bowled, all the boys are on the boundary running on, because that was the last tournament we could pitch invade. So by the time he stumped, we were past mid-wicket. We were.
Well, there was a lot of we got, understandably, I guess, we got a lot of bad press because there were all kinds of things being thrown at the Australians. I think
Bevan got hit by a beer can.
That was it, wasn't it? Yeah, that was when they won
that was definitely not Pakistani, because no Pakistani could be that accurate. I think that's what Phil. And if it'd been a Pakistan, only people who'd had alcohol would have been the old uncles with their vodka. It wouldn't have been a beer can either.
In that series, do you remember the the Dusra that Sir Glenn bowled? I think it was to Damien Martin in one of the group games.
Yeah, because we knocked them over a couple of times, didn't we?
We did. We beat them in, again, typical Pakistani, put up about 260, 270. I think we beat them down in Cardiff, and I think we beat them somewhere else as well.
And Ricard took 7 or 8 wickets against England.
That was the Headingley game. Yeah.
That was. I think that was the day my daughter was born, and she'd be like 1 day old. So I'm sitting in the hospital. My wife's like, the baby, and I'm just got the old patient thing over, and just watching the cricket go shh, shh, shh.
So that was the game that, again, England actually conceded that game. We never got the winning runs because, again, some very, very unruly lads came on just before we hit the winning runs.
That's a problem with one-day games in this country. We get a lot of fans that don't come to Test cricket, because for Test cricket we don't turn up at all.
That's a real shame.
We never turn up for Test cricket in this country, do we? In any great numbers.
Well, some of us do, but it's really when you get there. When you get there, and there's just no other Pakistan fans.
Well, I mean, I go to get to all the Test matches, don't we, Imi?
Imi's gone for a sec.
Yeah, but I mean, I've been going for a long time. But generally speaking, you get a whole Pakistani fans. You know, whenever it comes to tournament cricket, they all creep out of the woodwork at the very last moment, all wanting tickets, don't they? And they turn up, and then they behave in a manner unbecoming sometimes.
Yeah.
They're more like football hooligans.
Well, there's a fine line between, you know, passion and then just going, oh.
Jameson's dangerous.
Well, it's his 10th over and he's given 5 runs, so we're not exactly comfortable against him, are we? I knew this was going to happen. As soon as he burst onto the scene against the West Indies, you knew he'd be licking his lips against us as well.
No, but he played well against England.
West Indies.
And who were they playing? He was good against India last year as well.
I don't remember him against India. I know he did well against West Indies just now, though.
No, he did well. He did well against India last year. He got a lot of bounce.
He looks a bit like our bowler. What was his name?
Shabir Ahmed.
No. That tall one. Recently, he's just gone. What's his name?
Muhammad Dalla.
No. Bowler.
I'm just trying to name random Pakistani bowlers. Essen Adil.
Muhammad Summer. I forgot his surname.
Irfan.
That's it. Irfan.
Yeah, but he looks like a more athletic version of our Irfan.
Yeah, a little more fit in it. But he looks a bit taller than him, I think.
He's about 6'9".
Big lad. Yeah, no, I remember was it Faisal Akbar? I remember him playing, 1 game, 2 games, never seen again.
92.
I think late 2000s, maybe, in fact.
No. Faisal Akbar played against South Africa.
03 before the World Cup?
Maybe, yeah. The one I'm thinking of is Tanveer Mehdi.
Oh, right.
If you Google Tanveer Mehdi, he's this wild-eyed looking bowler, absolutely wild-eyed looking bowler, and he's in the 92 tour. And the 92 tour was funny because they played a couple of one days, then played the test matches, and then they played a couple more one days. And there was one game in particular where they got their record score at the time, which must have been July, August. That was one of the games that very, very dodgy. And in those days, Pakistan had tours, and you'd have to, obviously it was my newspaper, and every sort of other day there'd be players coming and going. Player would turn up, play badly, and be injured and be sent home, and someone else would replace him. You know, players would be picked for one tour, and Tanveer Mehdi was one of them. A player called Naveed Anjum who came over and played like one game and was never heard of again.
Right.
Shadab Kabir in '96.
Yeah, no, I remember him. Yeah, young lad.
Yeah, he came in as a number 5, ended up having to open, did really well, put 30 or 40 on, and didn't really get many more games after that.
Welcome back,
guys. Are we winning yet?
Yeah, 45 for 3, eh?
Yeah, my 77 for 5 is going to come true.
And that makes you happy, does it?
No, it just means
that's amazing, man.
Years of experience suggest that's about our level.
I just don't get people who predict that, we're going to collapse and stuff and get happy about it.
I'm not happy about it. I'm just realistic.
You smiling, man?
I'm always smiling.
Oh, get ready. We've got a new entry into our Royal Rumble.
Oh.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Deen do ik for our Pakistani viewers.
Boom.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
What's that about, brothers?
I'm showing Malik's fan club.
Oh yeah, just me.
Where did Umar go? Is he gone now?
Umar was summoned, I think, to leave.
As soon as Abbas got out, Umar chipped.
All right. His commission slip ended, eh?
So has the first session gone?
Really
well.
Gone?
Hello, showing Malik's fan club.
Yeah, as I said, Abadali's shit. I need to sort of move on from him.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's not good outside of Asia against He's good in Asia against Sri Lanka or Bangladesh.
Who's this?
Abid Ali. He's rubbish.
It's like deja vu. Have you got your Coke and your hobnobs?
Got my ice cream, cake, and Coke, bro.
I thought hobnobs were very middle class.
Hobnobs, isn't it? Hobnobs is cake, bro.
No, not about your cake, bro. I'm talking about middle class of Swindon. Have you got hobnobs?
Oh, yesterday I did, but not today. I ate them all.
What have you got today? Twiglets.
Bugger all, I'll have a look. Maybe some crumpets.
Scones.
Yeah, a Daddy 100 from Harrison Azza today, I think.
Well,
questioning, what do you think about Ford Allen batting at number 6?
Someone's got to do it, haven't they?
Who's 5? Riz. Oh, yeah, 5's Harris, isn't it? Yeah, okay.
No. This is yeah. So yeah, Riz for Wilder.
Yeah, that's just because.
At some stage of this test match, someone will call for the recall of Asad Shafiq.
No, forget that.
Forget him.
Ford Allen to get triple century and save the day.
I've been watching quite a lot of first class cricket, and Cameron Ghulam, he's going to be the next big one. He's in form.
He's the next name that you're going to come off your list of players.
You heard it here first. He just scored. He's the leading run scorer.
You're from the Pakistani.
Shut up, Sarfraz's bloody manager.
But you're a typical Pakistani conveyor belt cricket. Oh, he's not scored. Let's pick someone else.
Well, yeah, we do need like some more middle order options because Shafiq's rubbish. 10 years at 6 with an average of 37. Get off. That's the easiest place to bat in the top order, and he's averaging 37.
Yeah. Have you met our tail?
What's that got to do with the tail? He can still make runs. He could have been getting loads of not outs. He hasn't. He's rubbish. He's lived off about 3 good innings, I reckon.
How many test matches have you been to that you haven't been given free tickets to?
None. I always go freebies.
How are India doing? I haven't started yet.
Oh, no, they ain't started yet.
You're on the wrong watch-along for that now.
Did you know Stark's already got 250 test match wickets? Like we were saying at Akbar about how much cricket we play and that we don't. Stark's, he's only been around for about 5 years.
Yeah,
I know he's doing well, but 250.
How many test matches have we played this year?
I don't know.
This is the point that we're making the other day, is that we don't play enough test matches.
No, we don't.
I don't think we get that many. That's what it is.
I mean, how's Nathan Lyon got that many test wickets? He's rubbish.
Nathan Lyon, Ishan.
No,
Lyon's actually all right.
But these matches allocated, is it through the boards or is it through ICC?
You've got to have a certain number of test matches, but then you can agree them. Because England have got this thing with Australia with the Ashes. They can have 5 test matches. And then India will always want 5 test matches against thingy. But a lot of places don't want to give England Pakistan 5 test matches because we're not economically viable.
Well, it's what we said the other day, isn't it? We've got I don't think our own board particularly pushes for lots of test matches either, home or away. And I don't think there's many away boards that would get people turning up to watch Pakistan play 5 tests. So
I think our board pushes more for 2020s than tests or one days. Because I think at one stage, maybe now we've played more 2020s than any other team.
Yeah, we have.
Anyone offers us the cricket, we'll play it. England give us 4 test matches this year?
3.
Was it 3? Which is quite unusually so. But then we've played lots of test matches in England the last few years because we've been willing to come over whenever. We very rarely get the sort of August test matches. We always get the early summer test matches, aren't we?
No, but the point I was making with Akbar, if a board really values Test cricket, you could, because I worked this out a few years ago. You need to average 10 Test matches a year. If you want your batsman ending up with 10,000 runs and your bowlers getting 350 wickets, you need to be averaging 10 Test matches a year. And the Aussies and the Indians and the English, they end up getting 15 Test matches a year, right? But we're not going to ever get that. We're not going to get that. But so you can aim for 10.
I don't even think we get 10.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If a board,
that's going
wants
to change. That's going to change again because basically the IPL have added 2 more teams, and they're talking about a 2.5 month tournament. So it's taking 60, 75 days out of the cricketing year.
Yeah, but that's basically England, South Africa, and Australia and India who are out of it. So the thing I was saying to Akbar is, if you've got a board that says, look, one way or another, we're going to guarantee our players 9 or 10 test matches every year. I don't care who we're playing, whether it's a 3-test series against Ireland, then Zimbabwe, then Bangladesh, then Nepal, then Sri Lanka, or whatever. We're playing 10 test matches. You can do it, but the board has to
What
want
it
to do
is,
it.
I think even if we get the lower teams, it's still match practice, isn't it?
Yeah, but then it's not commercially viable because no one wants to pay for the rights and things.
Yeah, but that's what I was saying. I don't know about this. I don't know if that's true or not because you can get people. You won't get the crowds as obviously. Well,
you
I don't know. Actually,
you won't get the TV money or anything.
Well, you get some TV money. The thing is, if you're willing to just say, okay, look, we won't make a profit, but let's at least cover our costs. Okay, so what do we have to do to cover our costs? So there must be a way to do this. To say, all right, what does it cost?
Hamza, are you saying so? Is this? I'm sure you're not just saying this just so we get batsmen who have got 5,000 runs and 350 wickets. Are you saying the more Test cricket they play, the more ready they'll be then to play the better teams? Or
exactly, obviously.
Or we just you don't want a situation. Sorry, you don't want a situation where you're just playing Test cricket for the sake of it, just to play 10 Test matches a year, right? There's got to be a point.
Well, the point is to get exposure. You know, I'm personally getting a bit sick of us. Where's our next 300 wicket bowler? You know what I mean? And I know a lot of it's to do with injuries and selection, but we're never going to get a 300 wicket bowler because we get a lot of our cricket in the UAE or Pakistan, and we don't play enough tests. So that's the thing. I just want us to play more.
The reason we've got so much cricket in England in the last couple of years is because our board has said, yes, we'll play, because we're the only team that generally can send a full-strength team, because everyone else is playing IPL, and, you know, if you want to fill a ground, you've got to have a team that actually sends a full-strength team, and we're the only thing that can do it. So IPL could actually work out in our favour. We'll get a lot more cricket in England over the next few years because I don't know.
I don't know, because if we're playing England when the IPL's going on, Butler won't be there. Root might not be there. Stokes might not be there. Archer might not be there.
We're 2016, 2017, 2000. I think we've been over every year since 2016.
Yeah, but they haven't all been Test tours though. So the 2016 we were the second team over. So. Because we came in July. In 2018, we were the first team over, but it was after the IPL. And the others have all been 50 over tours. So obviously 2017 was a Champions Trophy, so the whole world was here. 2019 was a World Cup, so the whole world was
here. We got the five game tour. 2020.
Yeah, but that was a very much a warm up for the World Cup.
So we've had 3 lots of Test matches in 5 years.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't think that's because I'm not convinced. I take your point, but I don't think we're going to play more cricket here because of the IPL.
I think we're back in 2022, aren't we?
We are. Well, we're back next year for some white ball cricket.
Yeah, we know we've got the tickets.
Yeah.
Even this one, you know, when they came this year, was it not supposed to be already? Was it 2 Test matches? Was it 3? I can't remember now.
3.
Or was it originally supposed to be 2 and they added an extra one?
I don't know. I don't know what it was originally.
Don't think so. I'm not sure.
Good. It wasn't a good Yorker by 3D2.
But I don't think we've had more than 3 Test matches in anywhere.
No, I think Hulk. Were you saying this the other day?
Yeah, we don't get anything more than like the max is 3. You know, we don't get anything like the 4, the 5. Really. The last 4 was against England in 2016.
Even if you think about it,
the last 5 was in 92.
This Test, you know, the scoring system, what they've got. We've got no chance. The amount of tests what we play, all these other ones we play like 10, 12 plus.
No. It's done by average points. If you play 3 Test matches, each match is worth more than over 5. Less points per match.
I mean, technically, we've got just as good a chance as anyone because each team should play the same number of tests.
No, we haven't got as much because we don't play India. We don't get to smash India. It's not fair because we would smash them.
Of course we would, but equally, we get 60 points for a win in a 2-test series as opposed to say 24 in a 5-test series.
No, but if somebody else is playing more tests, and obviously if they win, obviously if they have, for example, 5 more tests than us, and they win, obviously the others
average points.
Is it still the same thing?
Yeah, it's a stupid system. It's not
but basically for every series, there's 120 points. And that 120 is divided by however many tests you play, 2, 3, 4, or 5. And that's the same for every series, 120.
So that's on every series, isn't it?
Every series you get 120
so
points.
What about if we're playing a series, we don't have a test? Sometimes we play a series, we don't get a test.
Well, if you don't get a test, then you don't get no points. The 120 points are only there if you play a test series, full stop. So this year, when we come to England and play the 3 ODIs and 3 2020s, there's no test points on.
Is there the same amount of series for every team?
Yeah, no.
Per cycle, there is. Per cycle, I'm sure there is. Per cycle, I'm sure there is. But I mean, COVID has messed everything up. I mean, you look at Bangladesh. Bangladesh still. I mean, we're still in the middle of a test series with Bangladesh, apparently, aren't we? So
yeah, we are. I don't think we're going to play the last one. But when the Test Championship schedule came out, I remember looking at it, and if you forget the test series, but if you look at the number of tests we play, I'm pretty sure we were, if not the last, second to last for having the least amount of tests during that whole 2-3 year cycle.
Yeah,
we get hardly anything.
So that must be the ICC what appoints the tests, isn't it? Not the boards.
I'm not sure. I think this will be involved somehow.
Is it the boards what decide how many tests you play with each other, or is it ICC?
I think it's it's the boards. So the boards will agree with each other how many tests they want in a specific series.
So that must be agreed before the Test Championship, then, isn't it?
No, you've told how many test matches, who you're supposed to play, and it's up for you to negotiate the test matches. And it's written down that India, Australia will tend to be 5 test matches. England, the Ashes are always 5 test matches, but the minimum to compromise a series in the Test Championship is 2, which is stupid. It should always be best of 3.
Do you not think it would be easier? Let's put the Ashes to one side because clearly that's the most special thing in the whole universe and nothing can touch the Ashes. But should it not just be that every single tour should be 3 ODIs, 3 tests, 3 T20s?
Yeah.
Just keep it simple.
You see that used to be the way when you used to bring one touring team over. Now the way the world has gone, you've got 3. That's for some countries. That's 3 different teams.
That's a 50. That's a 50 up for us, I think.
Yeah.
Shuffled away on the leg side for 2. 51.
It's not just that. It's that India doesn't want to be forced to have to play a 3-test, 3 ODI, 3 220 match series against Sri Lanka when they don't want to do it. That's all it is. They don't. It's the big boards, the Australians and the Englands. They don't want to. That's the thing about the way cricket's run compared to say FIFA. Like Germany can't say, "I don't want to play Albania to qualify for a World Cup. We're going to qualify anyway. We should automatically." Do you remember when they were doing these discussions about what was it points for a World Cup, and India actually floated the idea that we shouldn't have to qualify or whatever. We should auto. Do you remember that?
Well, I mean, the other way they guarantee qualification, obviously, if you want the big 3 qualifying all the time, just to stray from your point for 1 second, I'm sorry, but it's obviously just give them the hosting rights all the time because the hosts always qualify. So that's the other way that England and Australia always get into these tournaments, like by hosting it.
Yeah, but they've done that this past decade, haven't they? 2011 India,
2015 they're getting everything.
2019 England, and then it's India again.
Last Champions Trophy was England. Next T20 World Cup, India. T20 World Cup after that, Australia.
The next 50 over World Cup is in India.
There you go. So what was the last tournament? Must have been one of the T20 World Cups. Maybe 2014. I think it was Bangladesh or Sri Lanka. Bangladesh, I think.
Yeah, I think it was Bangladesh, wasn't it?
I think there's a tournament every flipping year. It's quite a long time ago.
You see, we go back to where we started this. I remember, I think in '87, I was saying Pakistan came over in April and we're here till September. and in '92 there was £50,000 on offer to Pakistan if they won 10 games against the counties. And
in '92, yeah, in '92. I remember that.
The Tetney Challenge, and Pakistan, £50,000 is a lot more money than it is now, and we made sure we won all the games. We put up proper teams and really smashed these teams. And you could learn a lot about cricket because you'd look at the averages, and when the averages were published in the newspapers in those days, and the Pakistani players would be top of the averages because they'd played five test matches and they'd played 12 or 13 side matches. So you basically played a season in this country. Now you come over for a tour, you might have one game, 13 aside, and you have 3 test matches back to back, and you're here and gone. And and that is again the consequence of all these bloody leagues, that IPL, Champions, CPL, Big Bash. I mean, the Big Bash seems to have gone on forever. Is it like one season's finished and another season?
Are you in a brothel, Nav?
That's what I was thinking with the red light.
Are you selling yourself?
No. That's next door's Christmas lights.
No, I think it's orange in your background.
Yeah, it's showing off the yellow wall.
There you go. It's all right now. No, but what I'm saying, that's not a problem that you can't come to England for a whole summer. It's just that those 3 boards have so much authority. They basically run cricket. It's the equivalent.
Yeah, but the problem is,
it's the equivalent of Germany, England, and Brazil.
Yeah, but it's the problem. The rest of the boards have given that authority, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. It shouldn't have happened.
It shouldn't have happened. Yeah, it shouldn't have happened. Even Pakistan should have never agreed to it.
It shouldn't have happened, but it's happened.
Pakistan should have never agreed to it in the first place. But
there's so much money. India basically runs the game because India's got so much money. You wonder.
Yeah, but what you got to understand, Nav, I know they've got the money, but if no other teams playing with them, they can have as much money as they want. But if they can't play with nobody else, if all the other teams stick together and say, "Look, we're not bothered, big 3."
I'll stop you here, right? Pakistan Test match may sell out for 1 or 2 days, right? You have a series with India, right? And India and Australia. You could have 10 Test matches, and they will sell out every single day.
No, they're not. The Test match right now is sold out. No, it's to do with TV money. It's just TV money.
England is the only place that sells out Test cricket. You go to Australia after day 1, you look at the crowds. And,
I don't think any other game would sell out more than a Pakistan-India game.
Sorry?
Even the Ashes, I don't think. The amount of money what they generate on a Pakistan-India game, I don't think they generate that on any.
TV, yes, but if you go and internet views, yes, but if you go back and look at when we were playing India in 04, 05, 06 in these Test series, the one-day games.
No, I'm not about in the crowds and that. I'm talking about in general in generating the money. TV rights and advertising
basically,
rights.
I think you've got to understand that each ground bids for each series. So Headingley will bid for next year or the next year. For every cycle they bid for us to give the ECB hosting rights, right? They bid for that. So they'll say we'll guarantee you X amount of money for giving us, say, India Test match, for example. And there's 5 or 6 grounds, only so many grounds get a Test match, and the Oval's guaranteed a Test match, and Lords is guaranteed a Test match. The other outer grounds are all bidding for it, right? And they'll get more hosting fees from having India or Australia compared to any other team. And unfortunately, when the Indians turn up, they'll drink the ground dry. England and Australia will drink the ground dry. We do not drink cans of Coke, do not drink the ground dry.
What I'm saying is, okay, fair enough. I understand what you're trying to say there, yeah. But what I'm trying to say is, if the other teams say, look, they just stick together and say, look, to the big 3, that look, if we don't have the same right equal to what you've got, we're not going to play you. Then who are they going to play? Just play them each other, them teams. How much are they going to play?
Yeah, no, but they pick them off one at a time. They did this to us where India promised.
I know that's how they did it last time. That's how
they said to us, "Oh, we'll play you in 3 series over the next 6 years," and then we agreed to the future tours program and all of that. Whatever it was. And then they backed out at the last minute. Said,
we made a mistake, Hamzah. What we should have done, we should have made sure it was a proper contract, proper signed and everything. Then they would have been snookered.
Right, snookered where? Which court's going to enforce it?
Sorry.
The ICC, I don't know. It's going to be.
No, but
I
if you got
think
it there, proper in blunt
the
paper.
ICC
Now,
the ICC won't enforce something like that. The ICC
no,
give points.
forget the ICC. Forget the ICC. If we had it like a proper contract signed, even if the ICC didn't agree, maybe it could go into court. Because if they
But we
like
did.
they said, "Oh,
we took them to
no,
court.
but we
and
never had a contract signed. We never had nothing signed with them, did we?
You're talking.
That was just a verbal saying, verbally them saying,
No,
yeah,
we had no, Cal, it wasn't verbal. It was an MOU, a memorandum of understanding. So what India said, it
that's
was
the
an
understanding in
MOU.
it, bro.
Yeah, no,
But that's the
but
understanding. It's not saying that 100% we're gonna do it.
yeah, no, but it was still written, it was still signed. But then India said it was an MOU only. They go, we still need to go to our government to get permission.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So that
yeah,
was
that's what the sticking
so
point
they had a
was. Yeah.
So if we had it proper concrete, like nitty gritty, yeah, or from our solicitor, make sure everything's there concrete, yeah. Then they won't have had a way to pull out of it. Then even if they did pull out of it, they would have had to pay us a lot of money, which they should have.
Yeah.
But obviously they had a way to pull out of it. They got out of it.
Yeah, but it actually went to court, and the evidence was.
No, it wasn't a court, bro. It was ICC court. It was ICC thingy, It wasn't no proper court.
I thought it went to proper court.
The problem is South Africa.
We did take them to a proper court, yeah.
Was it proper court?
Yeah, we
it
did
was a proper court, and the evidence was in our favour.
Oh,
They
flip
still
it
ruled
out.
against us.
As early edge
He's not giving it. He's not giving it. He's not giving it.
Oh, they've reviewed that straight away.
Yeah. You see, South Africa, West Indies, and New Zealand are all needy boards.
Yeah.
So they'll always be happy with someone.
South Africa, New Zealand, West Indies, they won't stand up for anything.
I think South Africa was the last one. What did the thingy? They was the one first saying, no, we're not going to.
Yeah, but you know what? It doesn't matter because any of these boards, if they try and stand up to India, India will just say, "Fine, do you want to play us in a 5-match one-day series?" And just all right, then fine. Okay, well, we'll vote for it then. It's not difficult, right? Here we go.
He's hit that.
Is he walking?
No, he's not walking.
I
Oh, I don't know.
don't know.
Well, it's not out anyway, so it's got to be, benefit down. There's got to be something there concrete for them.
We just need something. Oh, he's hit it. He's hit it on Snicko, on Old Trudge. He's hit that. Gone. 51 for 4.
We need 20 more runs. This was so sadly predictable.
Oh, that's a massive edge.
I don't know. I don't know. I thought we'd be 3 down at lunch, but you look at the pitch and you think, oh, it's not doing a lot. And New Zealand have just batted quite easily for a couple of days, just showed good application. And here we are flipping 50 for 4.
Yeah. C'est la vie.
We were beating the bat quite often like that, and they never edged it. It's probably because they weren't chasing the ball.
As my friend Riza Bibi would say, this is deja voice.
Deja voice.
And this is the problem with the 2-test series, is that, let's be honest, we can't win the series now. I'm sorry, that's very pessimistic on day 3, but we can't win the series now, can we? Let's be honest.
We'll only start playing properly. Oh, here he is, Sir Fawad.
Oh god, that is irritating, man. Because especially on day 1, Abbas beat the bat loads and never edged it. Never even came close, and then they beat the bat once and edged it.
If you've been a Pakistani supporter as long as I have, you will know this is so true.
See, this is the issue in enough. It's too much defensive mode.
Where do you think Fawad will be facing?
Towards the window.
Facing the leg stump. At least he's in form.
Is he? Oh yeah, I'm sure he scored a century.
In the warm up.
What guard did he take?
Was it not leg?
Fine leg.
Let's see what the commentators say about him.
His leg. Who here is a Fawad fan? Who isn't?
I'm more of a Fawad fan than not, but I'm not.
I think you should reward domestic runs. Give him a go. Yeah, I don't mind him being in the team.
He needs to score in it. He needs to justify his inclusion.
Everyone
he
does.
actually facing?
Oh, bloody hell. That is, even for Fawad, that's pretty extravagant.
Yeah, his right leg faces the leg side umpire, basically.
Well, basically, all he's got to do is bring the bats down there, hasn't he? There is a thing with that technique that if you're that open, all you're doing is you're taking the legs out of play for LBW. You've just got to bring the bat down straight.
We've got what, 15 minutes to play before lunch.
So the only person who can win this is me.
No one's winning here apart from New Zealand, all right?
He's off the mark.
Look at him, he's facing the leg side umpire.
Yeah, but watch he's got the thing, so he straightens up and he's played a shot. If it works for him, there's nothing to say that is the correct way of batting this orthodox card.
Yeah.
So how would you, if you were a bowler then, would you do anything different bowling to him, or would you just bowl your normal line and length and just play him as a normal batsman?
You've got to play him as a normal batsman, haven't you?
I think just bowl your normal.
Has he ever been out LBW?
Because
Has he what?
Has he ever been out leg before?
Yeah.
Did he get leg before against England in the
yeah,
tour over here?
Yeah, Woke's got him leg before.
Question for you, this card is: what do you coach for Ardalov?
Yeah, we'll go. What the commentator saying?
But if you look at the actual position at the release of the ball, he's actually sort of open, but he's already in a kind of forward.
Oh, Harris, what is that? That's ridiculous.
That is such a lazy shot.
Oh, come on. It's a wide ball. He just flashed at it. This is not how New Zealand got to 430 the other day, is it? 52 for 5. Come on, Harris. I mean, this is the thing, isn't it? Oh,
Wide ball. I opened the face. Slash. Lack of concentration.
More notes from Yunus Khan.
See, this is what I mean. This is what I'm trying to say.
Playing away from his body.
Same thing.
But Cal, that's an attacking shot.
They played the way you wanted, Carl, so you can't have it both ways, mate.
No. That's a nothing attacking shot, innit? Come on.
I mean, his feet were nowhere. But then his feet are often nowhere, to be honest, with Harris. He's a bit kind of stand and deliver, isn't he?
I've seen petrol pumps with more feet movement.
I'm just looking at the comments. I don't know how to make the comments come up on screen, but it says here, what have we got? 1 second. There was a comment from someone. Disgraceful schoolboy error, catching practice. How someone like Barbara Azar meant to make 10k runs when we play so little Test cricket. Well, that's what your point is, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just looking at the shot from Harris. It was there to hit. It was a half volley outside off stump. It was there to hit.
Yeah, but it's like he pulled his back or something.
Yeah. But you play the way for your body, it's going to go aerial.
Yeah, it's just like a nothing kind of, just a loose drive.
There he is. Mohammed Rizwan.
And this is when you feel for the bowlers, because they didn't bowl badly. They kind of stuck to the plans. And here they are again, the likes of Shaheen and Boogie padding up and then getting ready to bowl again, probably in about 2 hours.
And we've got a long tail.
Yeah.
He's written down the B word I did with D.
That's the thing, man. Weakening the batting to strengthen the bowling. Well, the bowler's got to get wickets, and if they don't, you're in trouble.
So here he is, Mr. Rizwan.
He's got nothing to prove, mate. He's acting like he's done nothing. He's got nothing to prove. Poor shot from Harris, man. That's a shot of someone who hasn't played that much cricket, to be fair.
I'm still making excuses for him. It's lazy, lack of concentration.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that's the shot of someone who's not played that much over the last year.
Don't worry, we've still got a test of jury still to come.
Yeah, when was the last test we played?
A year ago against Bangladesh, I think.
Well, no, we had the England series, didn't we?
No, I mean Harris.
Sorry.
Yeah, I think it's Sri Lanka or Bangladesh.
Well, it's not our fault he keeps them Pussy now.
Sees ghosts. Yeah, just disappointing, man. Poor shot.
Wasn't he dropped out because of family issues or something? Because his family couldn't go over.
He said he doesn't want to travel because of COVID or something.
Yeah, but he's travelled to New Zealand.
No. I think
Well,
the rumor was
we were
the
at the
rumor
height.
was he couldn't take his family with him or something.
Yeah, we were at the height of the pandemic here, whereas New Zealand, I guess, is pretty much COVID-free right now.
Yeah, but he's coming.
Is it too late to get? Is it? What can we do to get this tour called off now and just have it 0-0? Can we? Can we go?
Go out, get the virus.
Well, is any
That's
chance
the
of rain on day 4 and 5?
Well, we were expecting rain. Yeah, we were expecting rain yesterday. I don't think it came, did it?
How many tours down under Australia and New Zealand do you ever go beyond midnight before going, right, I've wasted enough time, let's go off to bed. This is poor.
To be fair, New Zealand, we've got a really good record overall.
Yeah, but over the last 5 years.
Yeah, 2016 when they beat us, that was the first time they beat us over 20 years, I think.
Why is Bagley trying to give all that? He's 127 kilometres an hour.
Yeah.
So there's comments from saying Misbah out, and then someone saying, "How is this Misbah's fault?"
Yeah, it's all
you know what? I find it really difficult in football, in cricket, in any sport, because we're not on the inside. Obviously, we're from the outside looking in, to kind of give accountability. Who's accountable for why we're doing so badly? Is this? And I even wrote this on Twitter the other day. Is this a board problem? Is this a team management problem? Is this a player problem, or is it all three?
But let's stop you here, right? We've come to New Zealand, right, and people are going, "Oh, we're doing badly." The West Indies got smashed. England were here last year, got smashed. India was smashed by New Zealand. Hang on, New Zealand. If New Zealand had win these 2 Test matches, they'll go second in the Test Championship. New Zealand are a very, very good team. Okay, because they haven't got. Well, Kane Williamson's a superstar, but because we've beaten them historically, we somehow think we're going to beat them. They are a very, very
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say. I didn't come into this series thinking that we were going to win. I just it's the difference between the two teams: 430 versus 50 for 5. I don't think there's that much.
Right. But if you go back and look at how England did against them, that was 2 years.
But why compare yourself against a team that didn't do so well? Why not compare? I mean, Australia routinely go to New Zealand and win.
They haven't been for a while.
No, but South Africa have got a good record there. New Zealand, they're not. I'm not saying they're a bad team, but
you can only go on recent evidence. The last 3 teams have gone there. India went there and didn't do very well after having done really well in Australia. They just shot.
But we can't just say that because everyone else is losing there, then it's all right for us to lose there.
No.
Don't get right.
But you see, we're going back to this thing because I was talking to the boys yesterday. I said Mickey Arthur's biggest fault was winning the Champions Trophy because we were not a very good one-day team. He got sacked off the back of a World Cup in which we'd done better. You know, if we'd beaten the West Indies and we'd lost to England, no one would have said anything. We had a good World Cup, and we were just unlucky, right? There was a couple of shots like there was an inexcusable performance right at the start, which happens at every World Cup for us. And there was a game against Australia where a couple of players played shots that showed lack of brains, and we sacked him. And do you know what I mean? Our Test cricket hasn't been good over a few years. You know, we lost Misbah, we lost Yunus Khan, and we've been trying to re-establish ourselves for a while. And it was we as Pakistanis think that we've got some God-given right to win. And if you look at the sum total of our parts,
no, it's not that.
You know, like how many Test wickets and how many Test centuries have we got? Take Gazir Ali out this team, and how many centuries have we got, and how many wickets have we got?
So okay, fine. Are we getting better or are we getting worse at the moment?
We're in a position of rebuilding and working ourselves out.
How long are we going to be rebuilding for? I feel like every time we go to South Africa, we're rebuilding. We'll be better in 4 years' time. Every time we go to New Zealand, we're rebuilding. We'll be better in 4 years' time.
And then because every 3 years we sack everyone and start again. We had a coach who's done 4 years, didn't do badly, and there was this sea call for change. We must change. We must change. We must change. And I couldn't see how Mickey had let us down so badly that we needed to change. So we change for the sake of changing. A player doesn't do well for 2 or 3 games. We must change him. We must replace him. And his lobby or lobby for someone else. And we have far too much change in coaches, in captains, and in team turnover. You know, we have this expectation that we will win, and that if we change is good. Change always isn't good.
I agree. I like Mickey as a coach. Okay, so Misbah's the coach at the moment. Okay, and things are not going well. So would you say that you would keep Misbah and Bakari Yunus as the kind of team management? You wouldn't change that right now.
Look, when Misbah came in, my opinion of Misbah is highly educated, well thingy, but he's got no previous coaching experience. But now that you've run with him for nearly 18 months, then you've got to give him a fair chance to implement his ideas.
I don't know. I'm asking. I don't know the answer.
I don't know the answer. You can't go 18 months and go, well, we're going to change again. So the players that have got in, we're going to change over to another lot of players. We've got another chief selector who will have his own ideas, and then we'll go around in full circle again. And then if he doesn't do very well, we'll have another coach in. And the problem with Pakistan is that there is so much lobbying for. You know, you have the Karachi Lahore lobbying. You have the likes of Faisal Iqbal who stick his oar in Sikandar Butt, but someone that he's related to should be coaching or captain or what have you. And there's that kind of thing that we seem to struggle to get over. But I know I think you've got Misbah in now, so you've got to give him a fair opportunity.
Lots of comments coming in, guys. I know there's a few comments that we haven't really been noticing them. I don't know. Can you go back up and maybe have a look at them there, Holger?
Yeah, let me just pick out some of the main ones.
I think there's a few people kind of saying that it's Misbah. There's a few people saying that we need to give it time.
We were poor against Australia last year too. Pakistan Test cricket batsmen are a million miles away from making Pakistan one of the best Test playing nations.
Just to pick up on that then. So are we saying therefore that it doesn't matter who the coach is, it doesn't matter who the manager is, or the infrastructure, we just don't have enough good cricket players in Pakistan to be one of the best teams in the world? It's like, for example, if the Burnley fans got really annoyed as an example because why aren't Burnley competing in the Premier League? Well, your players aren't good enough. So is that what we're saying? We just haven't got enough good cricketers.
I just think we need to stop throwing toys out the pram. India just got bowled out for 36 and they didn't react the way we are. Why are we reacting like this?
Can I say,
like we said before, there's no one back home who deserves to be here. This is the best group of players. So what are we going to do?
So this is what I'm saying. Then, if this is the best we've got, it's the best we've got. Then changing the management won't make a difference. Changing the infrastructure might make a difference. But if you really think these are the best players that you've got in 200 million people in Pakistan.
Yeah, overall, we don't know. No, you've said a lot now. Just shut up for a minute. We don't know about the technical aspects. Yeah, we don't know if Waqar Yunus is a good coach. We don't know if Misbah is a good coach. We don't know if Yunus is a good technical batting coach. But what we can tell is they are broadly picking the right players on the tour. You can debate the 11s, all right? So should Rizwan be a T20 opener? Should we be playing Husnain or Wahab? All of that technical, all of the final 11 stuff. But the actual squads,
is that rain clouds?
So I think it's this is a perennial sort of issue. We generally don't do, or we do well in New Zealand, but this is a really good New Zealand team. India just got knocked out for 36, and they didn't throw their toys out the pram because
it's their home.
But they've been in the rankings for years, though, Hamza. I mean, if Pakistan got bowled out for 36, we were 1 or 2 in the world. And I'm not throwing my doing out the pram or anything like that. I just think I feel like we've all been. I mean, Nav, you've been here longer than all of us, right? So we've all been over and over again. Now, none of us are going to stop watching it because we're all just mental about Pakistan cricket. But after a while, you just think, are we going to have this same conversation in 3 years' time at 2 o'clock in the morning?
That comment from Usman is nonsense. India's 36 was not an anomaly. Look at their record in England, New Zealand, and Australia, and compare it to ours. We have a far better record than them in New Zealand and England. I think in Australia our records are equally poor. They won the Test series when Australia were without Smith and Warner. So no, that's not fair. India's 36 was not an anomaly. We've got a better record than them in New Zealand and in England.
We've got more heart. I think a big problem with Pakistan is PSL. We got obviously the journalists that talk absolute rubbish, but we have a player that bowls well in PSL, and suddenly there's a clamber for him to be in the Test team, and there's a little bit more to it than that. There's a lot more to cricket than bowling 4 overs or batting for 15 overs or 16 overs. And we do have a mentality that if you're good in one format, you can be good in all formats.
Just one thing here. Habib says, I think Asad Shafiq should be playing. We'll be having a chat to your brother Umar. We'll be talking to your brother Umar about this, Habib. Yeah, about you need to get something.
There's 4 or 5 batsmen that are better than Shafiq.
Oh, really?
Usman says we need more experience when it comes to our bowling. Naseem's too raw, and Abbas has lost pace and isn't as threatening.
Well, Abbas is no slower than Wagner at the moment.
Yeah,
that's got a review.
I think there was something a journalist said at the end of the first day that our bowlers haven't got that much pace, and it was all about pace and speed gun readings and stuff. And it's just not about that. Hamza, I think you made the point that I was on Twitter that New Zealand bowlers aren't exactly hitting 1995 either.
1989, Terry Alderman came to England, I think, in 5 or 6 Test matches, took 42 wickets, and he was about 78, 80 miles per hour. It's not always about pace. We had Mohammed Sami, who was fast. He didn't get. What was his Test average? Because you bowl fast does not make you, unplayable.
Harris says that Abbas is threatening. That's rubbish.
Yeah.
As I said,
our bowlers bowled well. The New Zealanders just batted really well. We didn't bowl badly at all.
You got to bear in mind, obviously, we dropped a few here and there. It might have been a total different score.
Yeah, we dropped a few. I think that from that first day, the first
if we didn't drop Williamson, I think we would have had him out early. We dropped that other one as well. I think
our fielding was pretty shocking.
If we got them, I think the release would have been at least 150 scores less.
That's
not saying our future looks bleak if this is the best batsman. Look, Barber's not here. That will make a big difference. We need to find another opener for Shan because Abid is nonsense. So yeah, I would go with Imam for now.
Hang on, can I stop you there? And how much abuse does Imam get because
his uncle?
His uncle. The bloke scored 6, 7, 8 one-day centuries. And there's people who haven't done that, right? So call him a Barshi. On what basis? You don't score 150 odd against England in England with white ball, green ball, red ball, having some modicum of talent. But again, we'll throw that in again and again and again and again. It's supposed to say, let's back to the boys. So you'll have Imam, Thiggy, Shan, you have Babur at 3, Azhar at 3,
Babur at 4,
Harris at 5.
Probably, I'd go with Talat or someone at 6, or maybe Fawad at 6.
You have a wicketkeeper at 7, which we can debate.
Usman says sold Shakil for South Africa. Yeah, he's doing all right domestically. And as I said, the other guy who's top run scorer is Cameron Ghulam. And I've been watching a lot of domestic cricket lately. Ghulam looks better than Sold Shakil. Sold Shakil looks a little bit. There's always a bit of a gap between his bat and pad when he's driving. I reckon he'll be sort of figured out in Test cricket. I might be wrong, but if you look at them, check them out. Cameron Ghulam's got much tighter technique.
The question now comes. Mickey played for him and Shadab. Played Shadab, so he had two sort of batting all-rounders. Now,
no, they're bowling all-rounders. They're not batting all-rounders. They're bowling all-rounders.
Yasser is a better bowler at the moment, where Shadab as a batsman and fielder. How much has Shadab's bowling got to improve for him to be a Test bowler?
I think he probably needs a little bit more control, consistency.
Yeah, needs to spin the ball a bit more.
Yeah.
And how much? I mean, the problem I've got with Yasser is, I was saying this yesterday, he's very much a push it through. He doesn't really beat people in the flight or anything, does he? He doesn't draw people out and get them stumped and the like. There's never been flight and guile with him.
All right, we've got a couple of more minutes, and then we're going to have to call it quits for the night, guys. So should we just go through last couple of questions? And
I'll tell you what, guys. Let's end on a happy note, because this has been a proper depressing 2 hours, isn't it?
We're batting. So Pakistan is always happier with their bowling.
Yeah, Cameron Galan's a good spinner too. He doesn't actually bowl much spin anymore. I think he just focuses on it. Yeah, he used to be an all-rounder. I don't know if you guys remember him. He had a good under-19 5 years ago, and he was an all-rounder. And he's basically.
That was Unmarelli.
No, that wasn't that one. He was in the Imam side when Imam was in the under-19s. He used to play in Imam, but he was an all-rounder. But he's basically just a batsman now.
Go on. What other questions are there?
Zaid Mahmood.
Who the hell's that? I've never heard of him.
Oh, he's good. Yeah,
Oh,
he's been doing well. He did well in the T20s, and then in the QEA as well. Good spinner from what I've seen. The difficult thing is with us, maybe more than any other country, is I feel like when our players go from domestic to international, I often have no idea how well they're gonna go, and it often feels like they make an initial impact, and then they get worked out, and then they can't come back from it. So that would be perennial fear about Pakistan players coming from the domestic.
Zaid Mahmood, I think Usman Qadir is better than Zaid Mahmood from what I've seen.
So we're not going to. We haven't got time to debate all this stuff. I've got to go. So the last one was Saud Shakil looks like someone who will come in for the South Africa series. There's that one there. We've spoken a bit about Saud Shakil in the past as well. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is all the time we have for the questions today.
Hang on, one thing. And who came nearest predicting the score?
Well done, Nav. Congratulations on Pakistan being awful this morning. Well done.
Yeah, well done, Nav.
Yeah, well, yeah, you know, credit where credit is due, boys. See you tomorrow.
Credit to Nav. All right, thanks a lot, everyone. I appreciate everyone. We'll be back tomorrow at some point. Allah Hafiz, everyone.
See you, boys.
Nice.
See you later. Oh, to end. Pakistan.
Zindabad.
There you go.